third Thursday library workshops in Wild Bills. Doing some free advertising for the lovely space in North Hall, where the School of Social Work makes things available for people to give presentations, to do group work. And I hold office hours every Thursday afternoon for the School of Social Work here. But on the third Thursday, we're holding a series of library workshops. And this inaugural workshop, the first one, is going to cover what I think is probably the most practical and useful things that I can cover in a workshop for students, and that is how to get help. So my name is Dan Gall. I'm also known around the School of Social Work as Dan the Librarian. And my goal today is to let you know how to save time and get the best information you can from the University of Iowa libraries, and specifically who can help you do that. So first thing, although this is both online and in person, the university strongly encourages the use of face masks in all classroom settings. I've taken mine off today, but I do have it with me and I normally wear it. But I've taken mine off today in case anybody is following along with lip reading, and I want my mouth to be available. And hopefully I'm a little easier to understand that way as well. A couple things that we are going to do today. First thing is this is indeed being recorded, and you may be listening to it after the fact on the School of Social Work's YouTube channel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask either online by voice or through chat. I'm a librarian. I'm a public services librarian, which means that I enjoy getting questions. So do feel free to interrupt and ask things as needed, however you wish to communicate. We're going to cover a couple different things here. I assume this will take less than half an hour. However, a lot depends on your questions. But the first thing I would like to know is why you're here today. What would make you interested in learning more about the library? From there, I'm going to give a brief overview about what libraries are and kind of put things in context. Not long, don't worry. And then we're going to get to the meat of today's presentation, which is how to get help. And I've divided that up into two things: people and things that are not people, that can help you get what you want from the University of Iowa libraries. So the first question is up for you guys. Are there any particular things that you want to know about the University of Iowa libraries or academic libraries in general? Anything I can do in today's session to answer your questions and make the libraries work better for you? Well, all right then.
I was going to say, and this is just, I'm faculty. Oh, wait, Claudia has a question. Let's go to Claudia.
Okay.
She says she would like to know if you can separate sources when searching by countries. Separate sources by country.
It depends a little bit on where we're searching. So we may get into that in a little bit, but I would say a lot of the tools that libraries use, and this kind of actually will lead into our question about what a library actually is. But a lot of the tools that people use in libraries to find information have different features and different ways to limit. So depending on what you're looking for, there often are ways to limit by geography or limit by country. But sometimes not. It depends a little bit on what the thing is. In the University of Iowa Library Catalog, there are ways to narrow down by geography, and in many of the databases that we use, things like Academic Search Elite or PsycInfo or the newspaper databases, we can narrow down by country. It depends a little bit on what the thing that we're searching is, though. That's a pretty general answer. Did that answer what you hoped I would?
Thank you. Yes, that helps, says Claudia.
Okay. Steve, you had a question as well.
I think I was chiming in with something along the lines of what Claudia was asking already. And I think more generally, I think one of the questions that's come up for me over the years is where do I go to locate evidence or academic journals that are relevant to the research I need to do for any class that I'm in?
Okay. There's a lot of places, and I'm gonna give a very, very general answer to that, because the focus today is on who can help you mainly, or how the library can help you. So I'm gonna put that spin on it, but that's a really good question. And indeed, one of the reasons that people use libraries is because they want to know something. Very few people I know, even other librarians, go to the library because they just like being in them. We tend to want to use the library to solve something or to get information, not use the library for the sake of the library. So couple things that may help with that. And I'm going to start out by trying to put it in context. There we go. So libraries can be a couple different things. And one of the stories from my past is the first professional job I had as a brand new, wet behind the ears, inexperienced librarian with a fresh ink still wet on the certificate Master of Library Science degree, was as a Peace Corps volunteer in Southern Africa in a country called Botswana. And I learned the local language. At least I learned, enough to get around in the local language, Setswana. And in Setswana, the name for libraries is Matlobo wa Dibuka, which if you translate literally, library is not an indigenous concept in Setswana culture. But if you translate Matlobo wa Dibuka from Setswana into English, it translates as literally pile of books. That was the closest thing that they could get to the idea of a library, which I always thought was very amusing. I'm going to go down to the pile of books today. It's been gotta get to my office and the pile of books. But it made me think quite a bit about what a library actually is on a somewhat fundamental level. So it is, according to a lot of people, a pile of books. It is a building that houses those books and hopefully keeps them somewhat organized. For some people, the library is not so much the building, but it's the collections, it's the books themselves, it's all of the stuff that's in that building. But increasingly, the stuff that's in that building is online. It's not even in that building. And the building is becoming less and less important in many ways. So the library is not so much a building or a bunch of books. It's a set of systems that allow you to find information in different ways. So it's becoming increasingly complicated, from that pile of books to a place to go to find the pile of books, to no longer even having a place to find the information that's available in a lot of different ways. And that can be very confusing to a lot of people. So even the term library actually is not all that helpful sometimes. But the thing that is useful is the people in that building, or the people around that collection of books who can help you navigate it, who can help you find things that you want to fill that need that you have. So in order to use our pile of books more appropriately or more usefully, there's a couple different ways to think about those people. So first thing, get help. We try to make it as easy as we can to find a University of Iowa librarian who can help you. You can contact us in general. One of the things that helps us use these systems more and more effectively is the idea of a liaison librarian. I am the librarian subject guy for social work, but I work with a lot of excellent colleagues who are the subject librarians for all of the other things that are taught here. So it is easy to find the subject librarian who knows about your area of interest. And we try to make that as easy as possible. We try to make it as easy as possible to find the librarians in our undergraduate engagement department who specialize in working with undergrads and, you know, kind of being a little bit more generalists. A social work student today asked me for help doing research that involved marketing information from our business library, which is something that I do very, very infrequently. And I was able to connect her with one of my colleagues in the business library who was able to help much more efficiently than I can. So there's these systems, these things that work together. And we try to make it very easy for you to meet with and consult with the best librarian who can help you. So with all of that, it's pretty easy to get help from the University of Iowa libraries. Oops, going the wrong way. And you can get help from a couple different types of people in the library. Behind the scenes to manage all of those different systems, there are librarians who catalog the material that we have. There are folks who manage the budgets and buy the material and buy the books and things like that. There are people who manage the technology to make sure that links work and things connect with one another. So there's kind of behind the scenes folks. And there are what I consider the public facing people like me, the folks who represent the libraries more frequently. Research or reference librarians like me who know a subject area reasonably well and can help you find the best resource. Our generalist librarians who work with the undergraduates, and the people who run the services, interlibrary loan, check the books out. And then even within that, within all of these different kind of subject areas within the library, we have some specialty areas like our archives and special collections, or the Iowa Women's Archives, that are not based on a particular subject or academic subject, but specialize in different types of material. So there's all these different people who work with all these different systems. And one of the things that can be most useful is to find that person who can connect you to the right people, if that makes sense. And Claudia, Steve, Jen, if this is not making sense, please let me know. If this is making sense and seems to be useful, I will keep going.
I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I think you're doing a great job.
You got a thumbs up from Claudia too. So
right, excellent.
Keep going.
All right. So among us public-facing librarians, library folks, there are a few different types of people as well. One little quick thing, I'm going to veer into library trivia for just a second. But the word librarian can have a couple different meanings as well. So one type of person that works in the library is somebody with a master's degree in library and or information science. And officially our career is librarians. But another way you can think of librarians is people who hang out in libraries. People who are affiliated with the library, even if they don't have that degree. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time thinking about that too much. But when I talk about the subject librarians, I'm talking about those folks who've got some background and education in searching and using these different resources. Just kind of keep that in mind. When you go to the desk where people check out the books, they're very useful folks. They're very intelligent folks. They're very happy to help you. But if you have a deeper research question, they're going to send you to one of the research librarians. And And we try to make ourselves relatively easy to find as well. So for our undergraduate research folks, students engage at Maine, the scene is a good place to go. For the subject librarians, you can find us at our subject guides, and everything that's taught at the University of Iowa has a librarian who works with it. And we create these guides, and I'll show you the social work guide. We create these guides to direct you to the best set of resources in our area. So here are the different things I've put together for social work. And if I click on the social work library page, you'll find a couple different things that basically all of us librarians do. Select the resources, the tools to help you find information that we think are going to be most useful to you. And also try to make it easy for you to get a hold of us. So our email is available. You can call on the phone. You can set up an appointment to work with, one-on-one work with us. And if, in my case, if you select schedule an appointment, you can set up a time. I'll send you a Zoom link. We can work together and get at your information need and hopefully save you a bunch of time. And speaking on behalf of my colleagues, we love doing that kind of thing. Generally, librarians like me, we're curious folks. We want to learn more. And it's kind of fun to wrestle with somebody else's questions and spend a little bit of time and learn something new every day. So I do encourage you to get a hold of us. Things that we can help you do are, in general, do your research. We can help you find the book on your topic. We can help you find the journal articles or whatever other source is useful. And Steve had asked earlier about finding academic articles or finding more kind of scholarly information. A lot of that depends on the tools that we're going to use. So the different subject librarians in different areas, like me, for example, I might send you to a specific database like PsycInfo for psychology and counseling kinds of journals. And what you're going to find in that database probably is going to be much more academically focused than what you would find if you did a Google search and found articles out of Psychology Today magazine or something like that. Not always, but often. And one of the things we can do for you is help you find that more academic kind of information. The other thing that I would like to encourage you to think about us as is partners. I have been working with the School of Social Work for a few years now. And I've gotten to know some of the people. I develop relationships with the teachers here, with the instructors here. I know what they're teaching in their classes if they let me know. And I can tailor what I do to support what they're teaching. I get to know the PhD students particularly who stick with the same topic. I kind of have an idea of what they're interested in. And I can keep my eyes open for that when I buy materials to put in the library. So over time, I can build the collection in a way that is more useful to the School of Social Work. My colleagues all do the same thing. That's one of the nice things about the liaison model. We get to know the different colleges and the different schools that we work with, so we can do a better job of some of the behind the scenes stuff to help build our collections in a way that's useful. So that's one of the things that we librarians can do. The other type of people in the library, I have lost the top of my thing. I don't know why. In any case, doesn't matter too much. The other type of person who lives in works in the library are the people who provide the services. So the research librarians like me and my colleagues, we can help you find the book that you want. You take that book, you go to our circulation desk and you check it out. or increasingly you ask for it online and our circulation folks check it out to you and send it off and provide that level of service. If we don't have the book, we can get it for you through our interlibrary loan department, and my colleagues there can hunt it down and figure out who has it, borrow it from them and get it out to you. And my colleagues in course reserves can take the book and hold it for particular classes, put it on short-term loan, especially for things that are in high demand so that they don't just disappear and everybody in the class can have access to it. And these are all not research-oriented things. These are not finding information, but they're pretty critical to the role of a university and the role of a library within a university of getting information that people need to those people. So in order to think about this in terms of getting you help, you can think of someone like me as the person who can help you figure out what exists, the books, the journal articles, whatever else. And a lot of the service providers in the library, the circulation staff, the interlibrary loan staff, are the people who can actually help you get your hands on the thing. And those are both really important functions that you can go to get help. In order to get a hold of the people who provide the services, you can go to our main library webpage, or we have one-stop service. So the general phone number to call is 319-335-5299. And whoever answers that phone can help you get to the right department, the right person who can help you. So now, any questions about people and the types of people who are in the library who can help you?
I will just note that Claudia said that she has to go to a work meeting now, but she really wanted to catch part of your workshop, so we can just continue. Just wanted to let you know she's not storming out of the room.
Okay, well, thank you. I hope that I have said nothing to anger anyone. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Human beings, sleep at night and do other things that make them unavailable immediately when you need them. So I want to end today with some information about non-human ways of getting help from the library. And particularly what I'm thinking of are two things. One is our help tutorials. So you can go and find all of the many different types of help that are available for different things, the ways that we can support people writing research papers or using citation management programs and so on. And particularly, I want to point out the short video tutorials that we've created. And we've done a little bit more than just create the tutorials lately. So there are some short, less than 5-minute videos about finding books and articles in our library catalog. There are some different things about databases that we use that are very specialized for different classes and different types of research. The different subject libraries on campus, business and health and all, have more subject-specific things that can help. One of the things that I'm most excited about right now is my colleague, Tim Arnold, and a colleague of his, put together a series of videos about disinformation and misinformation and evaluating the quality of the information that you get. Increasingly, as people get information online and information can be manipulated in various ways, it's good to have skills to be able to evaluate what's true and what's not, or what's, if not true, at least factual, and what the difference between fact and truth might be. They get a little philosophical with these at times, but they're wonderful, and they're very practical guidance about essentially how not to be fooled. So I want to give a shout out to my colleagues who are doing that. The other thing is a series of podcasts we have that are somewhat similar to what I'm doing now, giving kind of the context of how the library works, a little bit of background information about those people that I talked about earlier who work behind the scenes. I interview one of the students who shelves books, for example, and she can give you some secrets about the physical layout of the library and how not to waste time finding stuff that's on our shelves. So take a look through those as well. But the thing that I want to end with is our FAQ system. So the frequently asked questions that we have are a little bit more developed than a typical FAQ you would find on a website. And what we've done is taken questions that we get repeatedly from students and written short answers to them. We've taken questions that we wish people would ask us more frequently and written short answers for those as well. So you can, if you want to, type in a keyword. And if I'm interested in finding things about where to study in the main library, we have answers in here. Can you adjust the temperatures and so on? Students often are looking for things related to exams and what to do during their exam time. So will the library staff proctor my exam for me? Most likely not, but we have resources where you can go to get a proctor for your exam. So there's a variety of things in here that are a little bit more involved than a typical FAQ, and they're nice, short answers, give you the information that you need, and are available 24 hours a day, which the people in the library who can help you are not. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with me and learning how to get help from the library. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you are following along after the fact, please know that there are other ways to get a hold of us. You can take a look at our undergraduate research help, just a shout out to them. Or you can find us online at www.lib.uiowa.edu. Look under help, look under contact us, and join us later for other editions of the third Thursday library workshops at Wild Bill's. Thanks, everybody.